In an earlier lecture, your manager assigned you to a new project. She gave you a vision statement. I'm repeating it here for context. You can pause the video if you'd like to study it. She also suggested 5 stakeholders to interview for starters. As a business analyst, you know there are a lot more stakeholders that you're going to have to interview. And this seems like a great opportunity to test whether ChatGPT can help you identify additional stakeholders based on the vision statement. It might be great to just start off with that to see how many of your manager's recommendations ChatGPT identifies. Well, for starters, the first 2 on our list are a verbatim match. Imagine that. It even explains why you need to interview each. For example, for the product owner or / manager, to help you understand the product vision, goals, and scope. That pretty much matches the types of questions you captured in your question file for that role. The CTO / tech lead was on both lists too, and ChatGPT thinks you should talk to that role to gain an idea of the technological feasibility and constraints. The customer service, sales / business development, and legal, all 3 also show up, but farther down the list. However, ChatGPT also suggested that you should consider interviewing the marketing team manager for positioning the product in the market. A data analyst / scientist is essential to understand the data infrastructure. Can get pretty complicated. Operations logistics manager to understand the operational requirements and challenges, along with potential solutions. The financial officer / CFO to discuss the budget, potential revenues, pricing, models for users and vendors. Quality assurance / testing lead to understand the testing strategies and how to ensure the app works flawlessly across different devices and platforms. I think that's really important for this app. The HR manager to understand any potential staffing requirements and to help with team dynamics during the product development phase. I really like that. That is 7 additional roles that ChatGPT thought you should probably consider. Since I was unsure whether ChatGPT just got bored with the list and quit, I asked, are there any other stakeholders you would interview at this stage? It responded with an additional set of stakeholders who were outside the organization, but could have a critical role in making sure our product was a screaming success. From user group vendors like restaurant owners or managers, dietitians or nutritionists, make sure that data is correct, third-party providers like Uber Eats, maybe, to industry experts who have experience in the food tech industry. It gives me a great list. It didn't even ignore the investors. That's a group who could react very positively to a novel idea like this. Like I've stated many times before, do not consider this list of stakeholders to be complete, but it sure is a fantastic starting point. It puts me light years ahead of the younger me who wouldn't have thought of half of them at this stage. Nonetheless, you need to add stakeholders that you know need to be involved based on your experience. And in addition, each interview you conduct will reveal additional roles that neither you nor ChatGPT thought of. That's fine. Anytime you start to go down a new path, you'll always discover unknowns along the way. That's what gives us business analysts a reason for being. Nonetheless, now that I have a plethora of stakeholders to interview, I'm at risk of becoming overwhelmed by the sheer number. I'm going to leverage my AI writing assistant to see what recommendations it has for the order in which I should conduct the interviews. ChatGPT explains that it's usually best to start with the internal stakeholders to establish a clear picture of the company vision and current understanding of the project. Then move to external stakeholders. I like that a lot. I think that's really important. It makes sense to me. Then it gives me a list of the recommended sequence. If I didn't have a lot of experience as a business analyst, my tendency would be to just try to schedule the interviews in that order. I wouldn't necessarily be super strict about it because one of the identified roles can't make time until the middle of next month. I don't think I should put the project on hold just for them. I recommend flexibility in scheduling, but all in all, I like ChatGPT's recommendations. Of course, you might have your own thoughts about how to prioritize the list. That's great. At least you have a reasonable list to prioritize. Finally, I want to make sure that we share a common understanding of what a stakeholder is. So I presented my definition for ChatGPT to see if that made a difference. I also asked how it came up with its list. I wanted to know what logic it applied to get these lists so I could replicate the process manually if I chose to. This was ChatGPT's explanation, verbatim. Step 1, internal reconnaissance. First things first, start at home base. Look at the vision, dissect it, and think about all the roles that would be needed to bring it to life. We're talking about the heroes working behind the scenes in your organization, from the brainstorming wizards in product management, the code whisperers in the tech team, the pixel Picassos in design, all the way to your legal eagles and number-crunching finance ninjas. They're all a vital part of this blockbuster we're making. Step 2, the external expedition. Once we've rallied the home troops, it's time for an out-of-base adventure. We've got our vision, we've got our team, but who else out there has a horse in this race? We need to think about the customers, of course, but also about the others affected by our mission. If we're building an app, who else plays a part in that app's ecosystem? Restaurant owners, nutrition experts, third-party vendors, and let's not forget the industry Yodas and potential investors. Everyone who's anyone with a vested interest is getting an invite to this party. Now, I would like to add, don't forget to include potential regulators who can throw a curveball if you ignore them. Okay, now that's its version of an entertaining and engaging voice. Not necessarily my cup of tea, but then I can certainly live with it. Besides, I've known many presenters in my life who sounded just like that. Maybe that was the secret of their success. So there you have it, folks. The thrilling journey from vision statement to a star-studded cast of stakeholders. Remember, in today's complex business environment, everyone's got a unique piece of the puzzle. And your job is to put those pieces together to create a complete picture. I hope you enjoy jigsaw puzzles.